Hi everybody, this is Kevin Purcell with GottaBeMobile.com, and we're showing you the HP Chromebook 14. This is a fairly new Chromebook, just came out in the last month here, and it runs the Haswell processor from Intel, something that makes this Chromebook pretty fast. It's got good power and it's got decent speed for a Chromebook, of course. But the main thing is that it also has an incredible battery life, and we'll show you that in just a minute. I really like the look of the Chromebook, the HP Chromebook. As you can see here on the back, it has nothing. This is just the hinge and, of course, branding. And you get the HP logo, the Chrome logo up here. We chose to go with the white one. The keyboard and trackpad on the HP Chromebook 14 is stellar. For a sub $400 computer, you would not expect it to have as good a trackpad and keyboard. As you can see, the trackpad is fairly spacious. Now, I hate using trackpads, and so I still use a mouse with this. When I don't have the mouse available, at least the trackpad isn't quite as annoying as most cheap computers. The island style keyboard is comfortable, spacious, and feels really good when you type on it. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, so while your fingers are on the keys, you can kind of feel it, and at first it was strange. I'm used to a MacBook keyboard with very smooth keys, but once I got used to it, I actually rather like it. Like a lot of keyboards, the top row is a set of function keys, and that's the same on a Chromebook here. As you can see, you get most of the basic keys. There's a power button, the volume and mute key, the brightness up and down. I really like this key right here. This is a multitask key, so you can switch between windows with just the single push of a key. Now notice when you press this full screen key, it moves the browser from windowed mode to a full screen mode. And the next key works as a browser refresh button. And then back to the keyboard, we get our back and forth on browsing, and of course the escape key. Now, one of the things I want to show you real quickly is I zoom in. Notice that the battery is 4% remaining with 15 minutes left. Amazingly, that's after more than 6 hours, and I've got the screen brightness turned all the way up. It's a little difficult to tell, but the screen brightness currently is at about 60%. When we do a battery test, we actually like to run it about this level, and it's hard to tell here on film, but that's kind of a little bit dim and makes it a little bit difficult to really be able to see the screen, especially under bright light. We're in a room with decent lighting right now, so it's not as big an issue. I really like the look of the Chromebook, the HP Chromebook. As you can see here on the back, it has nothing. This is just the hinge and, of course, branding. And you get the HP logo, the Chrome logo up here. We chose to go with the white one. It comes in a number of other colors. Go ahead and give you a look at the sides of the Chromebook. Notice first of all you have the port where you plug in your battery charger. It has a typical HP battery charger, which I don't like. And of course we have here the light there, the indicator light, showing that it's asleep while it's blinking. Right here is the SD card slot. I've been working with some pictures. Here we got a USB port, and then strangely enough, over here notice the SIM card. This is a model that comes with, interestingly enough, we get a SIM card. Notice that it's strangely open, something I really don't like. I wish it was behind maybe a door or something to protect it, but this comes with 200 megabytes of T-Mobile service per month for free. That's a nice touch, although 200 megabytes is not a lot. It is enough to maybe get some quick email and reading a little bit of text on some web pages. You're not going to want to do much in multimedia. It'll eat that up pretty quickly. Unfortunately, T-Mobile in my area is pretty slow, and so I really haven't taken use of it very much. We did sign up for it and test it out, but the speeds of it are very slow. Now notice along the front, you get nothing. There's just a little area here where you can easily open it. And then here along the left edge, going from the back to the front, is a Kensington lock and HDMI input. You get a couple more USB. This is a stereo and mic output, and there again is your power indicator. So now we'll show you the bottom. Of course, as you can see, it's got these rubberized feet here in the four corners. A pair of vents here to allow for venting so it doesn't overheat. And then it has speakers that face down. Now you'd think that that would be a problem, that it would muffle the sound, but I've actually found that because of the fact that these gray rubberized feet raise the Chromebook off the table a little bit, the sound doesn't get muffled. Instead, sort of gets amplified as it bounces across off of a hard surface like a table, and it's got pretty decent sound, and so we're happy with that. I like the look and color of it, the white with the silver paint on the plastic area around the keyboard and the trackpad. I think looks attractive. I didn't really like the other flashy colors. It's sort of, they call it red, but it looks almost pink, and then there's kind of a blue and a green. So we chose to go with this one. Fortunately, the Walmart near us had it. It was strange. We found that on launch day, when they first came out, the only place you could buy them was Walmart. You could pre-order them online, and that was get them at Walmart locally, and that was about it. We were fortunate enough to find one. We also really like the battery life, of course, is incredibly long, and we love that. The trackpad and the keyboard, I think, are pluses. And the fact that it's a $400 Chromebook is a nice thing. We used it last night with a camera to do some hangouts on video with my son who's off at college, and it did a decent job. It did drain the battery a little bit faster than it would normally, but other than that, we really were pleased with it. The screen does have a glossy screen. You can see that as I turn it towards the window here in this angle. So if you're looking at it in a bright room with lots of light, it's going to be difficult to read. That's why we had to crank up the brightness to about 80 to 90%, even during an average, a day with average light. And that's not a positive in my opinion. So pluses, I would say, are the keyboard, the battery life, the trackpad. It's an attractive computer, fairly lightweight, and has decent connections on it with 3 USB ports and an HDMI port. One of the negatives, of course, is the screen, and of course it's running Chromebook, Chrome OS. And I count that as a negative only because you can't install more complex apps, although I've found that a lot of what I want to do, I can do online. You go into the Chrome web app store, and you can find a lot of what you would need. I found that the Picasa photo editor is decent for basic editing. I would compare it with iPhoto, at least as far as your outcome. Maybe it's not as easy to use online, but it works well. But your basic web apps, you know, if you are a person who spends all your day in a web browser, then you'll be pleased with Chrome OS. If you're someone who spends most of your day in locally installed apps, it's going to be difficult for you to adjust to using Chrome OS. Now, I have tested it in using it along with a Chromecast, and so you can do some presentation work with it. You can send video from it to a computer or to a television screen, which is nice. Hulu Plus limits some of what you can watch. Some of the programs that you normally wouldn't be able to watch on a tablet or a cell phone through Hulu Plus, you are able to watch on your computer, and so you can send those to a television screen, and that makes it a nice alternative. One thing I wanted to do is compare my MacBook Air. It's in a really nice, attractive case, but I just want to show you sort of the size difference here. From top down, the MacBook Air is a 13.3 and the Chromebook is a 14-inch screen, and so it's fairly similar in size. Of course, you're not going to be able to tell this on a video, but they're also very similar in weight. The HP Chromebook is heavier, but in real world feel it's not quite as bad. Well, I would never presume to say that the HP Chromebook is as good a computer as the MacBook Air. For $400 or under $400, it is actually a really nice alternative. As you can see, it's fairly comparable. I wanted to show you here the keyboards. Almost exactly the same keyboard layout. that you get with each machine, except that the MacBook Air uses a black keyboard. Now the trackpad obviously is quite a bit bigger and works better on the MacBook Air. My point isn't to say that this should replace a MacBook Air for everyone, but it is to say if you really like the stylings and the hardware of the MacBook Air, but you just can't afford it, a 13-inch one is considerably more, 3 times as much as the HP Chromebook. I think the HP Chromebook is an excellent computer for students who don't need access to Microsoft Office. They can run programs that are Office compatible using Google Docs or Zoho online. If you want, if you do have an Apple product, you could even use iCloud to use the Pages, Numbers, and Keynote apps online. And so I would definitely give this a big thumbs up and a recommendation to anybody who understands those caveats. This has been Kevin Purcell with my new favorite non-Mac computer, the HP Chromebook 14, and I'm sharing it to you from Gotta Be Mobile and Notebooks.com. Thanks for watching.